Thanks for joining us for another Talk to an Expert video. Today I have Tim Vorhoff, a mergers and acquisitions expert with CreoValo. Welcome, Tim.
Hey, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Tim, I work with a lot of business owners, and when I bring up their exit strategy, there is usually some anxiety that comes over them. I'm hoping today we can share, how we can help them better understand what that process looks like and be able to feel confident in their financial life after the sale. Can you share with our viewers, what that initial conversation looks like when business owners come to you?
Yeah, great question, Brandon. And the good news is that you and we focus on helping business owners have confidence that they're not making a mistake. And I'll give you an example. We were approached by two business owners that owned a steel refurbishing business. So essentially, they take rusted steel parts and return it to bare bright metal and send it back to the manufacturers. Wonderful business. And they had been approached by an international Japanese conglomerate who wanted to buy them. Now, these two owners didn't know what their business was worth. They didn't know what to do. And so they turned to their financial advisor. And the financial advisor introduced us. And in that initial phone call, we had a very simple conversation. Hey, here's who we are. We want to know, what is your business? What do you do and who do you do it for? And what's allowed you to be successful? Because if that kind of company is reaching out, you must be doing something right. The next thing is we want to understand, well, what are your goals? These two owners got approached, but what do they want for the business? And in this case, they wanted to handle this response appropriately and professionally. They didn't know if they were ready for a sale, but they knew that they wanted to respect the fact that this very professional business had reached out and expressed interest. And then the third thing we asked is, well, where are you in pursuit of this objective, right? And all they had done was turn to their financial advisor. And we can go into a ton more detail, but from there, what we essentially did was try to understand, okay, based on the nuances of this business, who is perfect for these people to speak with? And we introduced three professionals all around the country that specialize in selling these types of companies. The first was based out of Chicago. And they said, hey, look, your business is worth 15 to 18 million. And here's why. The second group was out of Cleveland. They said, hey, we think you're worth 10 to 12 million, and here's why. And then a third group came in and said, hey, you're worth 25 to 35 million, and here's why. So that's a 10 to $35 million value range. And all of these professionals were right. And the best part is the client didn't pay for any of this information. All of these professionals delivered this consultation to try to win their business. So all these professionals told them what they thought the value of their business was and why. And they were all right and they were all different. Because the value of your business is what somebody is willing to pay for it. And all these professionals have experience working with different buyers. And every buyer views an opportunity differently. And our goal is to get you in touch with the people who understand who are the buyers that are willing to pay the most for your business, and how can we empower you to make a decision that you feel confident in. And so for these two owners, this husband and wife team, they met with three banks. These conversations were illuminating. They felt like they got an MBA in business management by the end of these conversations.
Sure.
And they decided that what they wanted was to wait. They wanted to grow their business. That, after all this consultation, understanding all these nuances, they weren't ready to walk away. They felt like they had a lot of growth left in the engine. They got valuable insights on what would be the cons of their business. What are the things that maybe are a little hairy and they might get dinged on value for? And what are the things that are really good? And so they decided, you know what? We want to go after and tackle those things. That's low-hanging fruit for us. And once we get those things in the bag, then we want to go to market. And we love those conversations. What was great was their financial advisor was in every conversation, and their financial advisor was helping them understand this idea. Like, okay, like somebody wants to buy you, that's great, but what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And helping have that conversation with the clients was invaluable.
Sure, especially being approached like that with, such large offers. They may not have even been thinking about it, right? Until
it wasn't a thought on their minds. Somebody just reached out of the blue and they're like, well, I need to take this seriously. I don't have an exit plan.
Sure. Well, and that's what's nice too, right? Is because the business owner is really the one in control here. So they have options. And, as you help them vet that out and you introduce these investment bankers, they get all that valuable information like we've talked about, right? You mentioned, with the comps and, the sector, the business sector that they're in. That's really valuable information. Like you said, they came out of it with, very knowledgeable, probably a lot more knowledgeable than they were, right, on their industry, because of that. And that's powerful.
Yeah, and so that's our whole role, right? Our role is how can we help empower owners to have the confidence they need to make an informed decision, right? You grow a business over decades. Let's take some time to make sure that if you're thinking or considering an exit, that it's really what you want. You have as much information as possible, that you can make a fully informed decision.
Mhm. And what I've seen over the years too with these business owners that are looking for an exit strategy is, typically you think it's, well, you sell as you're getting towards retirement age and you ride off into the sunset, right? That's not always the case. Sometimes they feel like they've built it up and they're at that point where they feel like they're done and they want to move on to something else, to the next challenge or the next startup or whatever. And so everybody's situation is different. And I think that's also important that, somebody talks to a professional financial advisor like myself to talk about the options and see what is their next step. Because it's not always retirement, right? It could be a lot of different things. Well, this has been very, very helpful. Hopefully it's been very helpful for our viewers. So I appreciate you joining us, Tim. If you are a business owner and you do have any questions for us, you can reach out to me directly and we can set up a time for us all to visit on a call. And as always, I'm available for your investment and retirement planning needs. But remember, everyone, forget about the amateurs and talk to an expert. Hi, everyone. Brandon Sherbert here with Beacon Financial Group, your most trusted investment advisor. Thanks for watching our Talk to an Expert video series. We're passionate about helping people take charge of their financial future. We understand that life has its challenges, and that's why we have a network of trusted professionals and resources to support you at every step. So if you're ready to get serious about your financial independence, let's chat. I'd love to be your advocate and help you have a successful, worry-free retirement.